Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Frank with America's Geopolitics. America is done with China. Supply chain chaos, rising tariffs, and a growing rivalry mean the U.S. is pulling manufacturing back home. But there's a problem. Some industries, they're just not coming back home, at least not all the way. So if it's not China, could Mexico be America's next manufacturing hub? Today we're breaking down why Mexico is winning this new economic race and whether the U.S.-Mexico partnership will thrive or crash and burn. Let's dive in. For decades, China was the world's factory. But times have changed. American companies are fed up with high tariffs, unreliable supply chains, and an unpredictable Chinese government. Trump's trade war wasn't just a negotiating tactic. It was about bringing jobs back. It's starting to work. Apple, Tesla, a few dozen other companies, they're shifting production elsewhere anyway. But not all of it's coming back to the U.S. Some of it's going south. And by south, I mean south of the border. Mexico has a major edge over China, and here's why. 1. The USMCA advantage. Thanks to an updated NAFTA deal, Mexican-made products enter the U.S. duty-free, while Chinese imports, they get hit with tariffs. The United States-Mexico-Canada agreement ensures that company manufacturing in Mexico benefit from lower trade barriers, giving them an edge over competitors operating out of China. This has encouraged major manufacturers from automakers to consumer electronic companies to set up factories in Mexico. Chinese labor costs have skyrocketed over the years. In contrast, Mexico offers a large workforce with strong technical skills at a fraction of the cost. The country has a well-developed manufacturing industry, particularly in the automotive and electronics sectors. Companies such as General Motors, Ford, and Samsung have leveraged the skilled labor pool to expand their operations in Mexico while maintaining competitive pricing. 3. Proximity. A car part made in China takes weeks to reach Detroit. From Mexico, a couple of days. That's a game changer for supply chains. With the increasing focus on just-in-time manufacturing, businesses are looking for ways to reduce shipping times and cost. Mexico's close proximity to the U.S. allows for faster turnaround times, meaning companies can respond to the market demands more efficiently. Additionally, reduced transportation costs mean significant savings for companies shipping goods into the U.S. compared to the trans-Pacific shipping routes. 4. Energy and industry growth. Mexico is booming with new industrial parks, and companies like Tesla are already setting up shop. The Mexican government has also invested heavily in their infrastructure to support manufacturing, including improved transportation networks and energy production. Several Mexican states, such as Nuevo Leon, have emerged as industrial hotspots, attracting billions in foreign direct investment. The rapid expansion of industrial zones and logistical hubs further enhances Mexico's appeal as a manufacturing powerhouse. 5. Infrastructure and intermodal growth. To make this shift truly work, both the U.S. and Mexico need massive infrastructure upgrades. America's railways, highways, and ports must be expanded to handle increased trade volume. Mexico, in turn, must improve its transportation networks to facilitate seamless movement of goods from industrial zones to the U.S. One key project that could revolutionize this trade route is the expansion of intermodal rail services between Mexico City and Texas, allowing for a faster, cheaper, and more reliable transportation of goods. But it couldn't be that easy, could it? The U.S. and Mexico, they aren't exactly best friends right now. First off, immigration and border disputes. U.S. leaders, they want stricter border policies, while Mexico, it's pushing back on deportations. The immigration crisis at the U.S.-Mexico border has become a political flashpoint, with the U.S. seeking increased cooperation from Mexico to curb illegal crossings. Mexico, however, face their own challenges. They're trying to balance pressure between Washington and their domestic concerns over human rights and economic stability. Recent negotiations between the two governments have included discussions on expanding asylum programs and reinforcing border security. But disagreements remain a point of contention. Energy disputes. Mexico wants to nationalize its energy sector, which clashes with American interests. The Mexican government has pushed policies favoring state-run energy companies over foreign investors. This has led to tensions with American firms that have already invested billions in Mexican energy infrastructure. The U.S. has raised concerns that such protectionist policies violate the USMCA trade agreement, sparking potential legal disputes and straining diplomatic ties. Despite these tensions, energy remains a critical sector where the U.S. and Mexico could find common ground, particularly in renewable energy development. Believe it or not, China is investing heavily in Mexico, trying to sneak into the U.S. market through the back door. Chinese companies are setting up manufacturing plants in Mexico to bypass U.S. tariffs and gain access to American consumers. This growing Chinese presence has raised alarms in Washington, with lawmakers pushing for stricter rules on foreign investment in key industries. At the same time, Mexico sees Chinese investment as an opportunity to boost its economy, creating a complex geopolitical balancing act between the two largest trade partners. Texas. Texas is going to be the big winner. Texas is set to benefit the most from this shift. With its proximity to Mexico, strong logistics infrastructure, and a business-friendly environment, Texas is becoming the primary hub for reshored manufacturing. Cities like Laredo, El Paso, and Houston, they're all seeing major investments in logistics centers, rail networks, and port expansions to accommodate growing U.S.-Mexico trade. This boom in cross-border commerce could make Texas one of the most economically powerful regions in the U.S. over the next decade. But Mexico isn't the only player in town. Vietnam and India, they're aggressively attracting American businesses. Some companies are even looking at Central America. But here's the truth. Mexico has a unique advantage because of its location. No other country can match the combination, at least not yet. So, is Mexico America's next China? Maybe, but not exactly. It's not about replacing China. It's about securing a reliable manufacturing base that keeps American businesses competitive. The U.S. and Mexico have their differences, but economically, they need each other. If both sides can manage this tension, this could be one of the strongest trade relationships of the 21st century. What do you think? Can Mexico become America's top manufacturing partner, or will politics get in the way? Let me know in the comments, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next big geopolitical breakdown. See you next time.